What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Envy Tour Pearl from Hammer. As we fire it up, scroll on down, hit that subscribe button. Let's be real, it's hard to find honest cross-brand comparisons of bowling balls these days, and that's what we're best at. So if you like it, be sure you hit that notification bell too so you don't miss out on the next one. We must have made it to the future because when it comes to this new one from Hammer, everything is chrome. The Envy Tour Pearl features the HK22 Envy Pearl cover stock finished to the 1500 grit polished out of the box, which is actually the first utilization of this cover formula with or without that HK22 additive. On the inside, we have the same Obsession Tour core with its 2.47 RG, 034 differential, and an 013 intermediate diff. This core was most recently featured in the Envy Tour, as well as both Obsession Tours from a couple years ago. For the layout, I went with a 4.5x5 x 2LS layout. This one has been a reliable, balanced, benchmark type of layout for me over the years, and with how much I enjoyed the Envy Tour, I wanted to make sure I didn't overthink this one. My hope in keeping a simple layout was that I could get all of what Hammer intended out of this one, as low differential asyms and I always have gotten along well. And on the lanes, it took a minute to get there, but once I lined up with this pearlized piece, I couldn't stop striking. I think it's kind of a shame that lower differential balls like this don't get the hype that the big number balls do, because the shapes and carry I get out of ones like this are almost always great. Some might consider this to be the weakest HK22 Pearl thus far, but even with that, I never once worried about it blowing past the break point even as I got inside of fifth arrow. And that was probably my favorite part about throwing this one. Even though I thought its sweet spot would be on the outside part of the lane like its predecessor, the Envy Tour Pearl is actually a ball I would trust when the lanes are really fried. Having the slight asymmetry evens out the hook potential when I would miss out, and the benchmark layout gives me enough hold when I would miss in. But on the list of downsides, it took me a lot of moving inside to actually see the shape that I wanted. My bowling intuition had an idea of what this thing was going to be good at, and I was just completely wrong. Now that's probably just a me problem, but I would bet that as other folks consider adding this piece knowing it's a weaker pearl, they're going to have a similar issue, as I really had to chase the look inside with it. But even though it's not what I thought it was going to be, I still think that pairing this piece with the Dark Web and the Black Widow 2.0 hybrid would be an almost perfect 3-ball bag. Both of those balls would be used in higher volume conditions, and they also play well off of each other, but once those are both too much, in comes the Envy Tour Pearl to keep you in the pocket and still getting the corners out. For our cross-brand comparison, I took a look at the Virtual Gravity Blackout from Storm, and to my eye, the covers actually seem close in both easy length and strength off the spot, with the difference being that the Blackout just has a bit more core. You can see it start to spin up a bit sooner and just have more hook potential overall, but if you need that kind of power, you could also just bring your ball speed down with the Envy Tour Pearl and not see much of an issue. Then I wanted to take a look at the original Envy Tour, and there is where I saw the design intent of this Pearl version. The Envy Tour is great at controlling the lane and playing outside, and then as soon as I get to the place where it is overwhelmed, that is where I would grab the Pearl. It picks up right where the solid leaves off and allows you to keep the same core in your hands while maintaining a good shape down lane. But with that, here's my recommendations on the types of bowlers I think will match up well with this Envy Tour Pearl. The first is two-handers, or those that have an abnormally high rev rate. When the lanes get really roasted, super high rev players tend to struggle to keep the pocket in play. However, I think that the Tour Pearl would allow them to focus on keeping their ball speed up and let the ball do the work through the pins without having to go twig to twig. The second is players with a high axis of rotation. High axis rotation players more naturally allow the ball to float down the lane. So having a piece like this that uses that little bit of asymmetry to square the ball up to the pins puts this piece in both a unique and really effective place in their arsenal. So maybe it is true and we did make it to the future, but if performance is like this, your scores will get so high that you'll love it when everything is chromed out like the all-new Envy Tour Pearl from Hammer, which you can pick up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure you use that discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. Thank you to Nick Pluff for the drilling of this piece and to Dale's Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. If you haven't yet, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews. But as always, remember you guys, having the right ball in your hands, now that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.